There's been a lot of conversation about the conversation between LeBron and our own Charles Barkley. Let's get into it. Here's what he says about Chuck. He's a hater. What makes what he says credible? Because he's on TV. I'm not going to let him disrespect my legacy like that. Not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Vegas. I never said I'm not a role model. I'm tired of biting my tongue. There's a new sheriff in town. Here is what our sheriff, Charles Barkley, said in return to ESPN Radio.
Well, I think when you don't like the message, you just kill the messenger. And that still does, some of those things he said about me are correct. That still does not make my message incorrect. I thought he was really whiny and complaining the last couple of weeks, talking about he got no help. I'm like, dude, you just won the championship. And it's the middle of the season, and you're just bashing your teammates. I think that wasn't right. You keep saying, we're not in it, we're not that good. I'm like, dude, y'all are the reigning defending NBA champs. And, I appreciate Christian Thompson actually having the stones to say something, but he's the only one. The rest of them are just so intimidated. I mean, and anybody in that circle, they're so intimidated, but I'm not intimidated at all. I've said the guy is the best player in the world. I've said he's a wonderful guy. I'm not sure how that constitutes hating just because I say he's coming out bashing his teammates every day and he's got Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, they're defending champions. I thought it was inappropriate and for him to talk about it every single day about how bad his team was. And I think it's a fair criticism.
Guys, clearly LeBron is frustrated. We get that. There's a lot of that behind this. Did you agree with what Chuck said about LeBron?
No. Well, I'll put it to you this way. They both are right about what they said about each other a little bit. I don't agree with what Chuck said in terms of them having the best players. Because when you won a championship, and this is where LeBron James is coming from, and this is where I don't think Charles can understand where he's coming from. When you're at the top of the mountain and you've won championships in this league and you're trying to repeat again, when you're trying to repeat, you got to get better. Your team has to add another player. Golden State went out and added Kevin Durant. Okay, you see San Antonio, their younger players have gotten better. What LeBron James is looking at, and key word he said, he talked about the organization being complacent. He talked about his age at 32 or going to be 32. So he's sitting at the top of the mountain and he's saying, these younger guys are coming. I'm not 25 anymore and I can't fight them off. I do need some help. And he sounded the alarm. And in sounding the alarm, he's asking for help and he needs help. Now, Charles talked about the payroll and everything else. That has nothing to do with the addition of another player. They need more players or they may not make it back to the finals. And again, when you talk about repeating, not just winning one, but when you talk about winning two, you got to get better. Everybody does it. And Golden State got better. Cleveland's got to add another player. And if they don't, they probably won't win it again.
I looked at it as Casey is. I thought Charles Barkley had his opinion. Whether he agreed with LeBron James or not, or whether we agreed with Charles, he has a right to his opinion. Yes, LeBron James started throwing some haymakers. And I think the reason why, and I'm just going off my opinion, I think it's built up of frustration, like you said, of him not being able to have a team that that maybe can win a championship. But I think his frustrations with Charles, it's been a long time coming, and I think it just hit a head. It probably wasn't the right time in the way he went about it, but I think LeBron James just says enough. But I do like that he said, I welcome being a chance to be able to talk to Charles during the All-Star break, so looking forward to that.
A lot of times it's not what the message is, it's how you deliver it. Maybe LeBron or Charles could have delivered it a little differently. We deliver this. Hey, look, great segue for Thursday,
don't have
right?
to change. They
Let's
have to
bump
be
up the
themselves.
ratings. Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, if I can change, you can change. Everyone can change.
I ain't changing.
7 p.m. Eastern
Just
time.
stay Casey Stern.